And welcome back to In the News with the Post and Courier. I'm Warren Peper. You know, I love kind of coming across young people from the Low Country who have their sights set on a world very far from here, and I think Seth Gilliard falls into that category, and he's with us here today for a visit. Now, Seth just graduated from Furman. His family still lives in the area, St. John's, right? You're raised in the area, a good old Low Country youngster?
Yep, I was raised in West Ashley. Went to Ashley River Creative Arts Elementary School, which is where I started playing violin, and Porter-Gaud for middle and high school. And we moved out to Johns Island when I was in 10th grade, and been out there ever since. Yeah.
Sure. Well, in terms of the violin itself, is that something, there's some history to that? Because I know at the Creative Arts School, a lot of kids kind of choose those instruments and go from there. What brought you to this instrument?
Well, my mom played viola,
Okay.
so she had one in the house when I was little, and you know, I'd tinker with it and play with it. But it was actually too big for me because I was a litent kid at this point, like 4 or 5 years old. So when I went to Ashley River, I started on violin and been classically trained since then. Went through high school, did orchestra, took private lessons, and then went to college and got my violin performance degree.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I know you've traveled throughout Europe. You've studied over there a little bit.
Yeah.
You just graduated from Furman. Where do you want to take all this?
I'm actually not quite sure yet, but I'm figuring it out. I've kind of ventured away a little bit from classical music and am in, you know, exploring more contemporary styles of music on violin, and that seems to appeal to people a little bit more. They can relate to it, you know, if they hear me playing their favorite song on the violin, they're like, whoa, that's cool.
That's a good point, because when my radar was first kind of recognized to what you do, I decided to pull up a couple of YouTube videos just to see what it was all about, because I was intrigued. First of all, I saw the name Gilliard. I said, that's Low Country as it can be. And then I see you playing a violin to some popular songs. There's some cases rap that's kind of interwoven with some national artist, and you're there as the accompaniment. It's an interesting approach.
It is, it is. I think people forget that like instruments can be used just like voices. You know, violin is a voice for me. You know, it can communicate emotions and feelings and sentiments just as well as words can. So I'm trying to kind of bring it back to the forefront of popular music, because instruments have kind of been lost. You know, everything's digital these days.
Let me see something here or hear something here, and if you feel like you need to introduce it, fine. If you think it just stands on its own, go ahead.
This is, well, I can play a little snippet. This is from one of my YouTube videos. It's my most popular one so far. It was a cover of Good Feeling by Flo Rida. He's a hip-hop artist from Florida. But yeah, I can play a little snippet of it.
Do it. That's the first time Flo Rida's made an appearance on in the news. But as I watched you, I've seen your videos. I've had people around town tell me more about you. And I know there are times they might happen across you as many places as one of the clubs downtown or a market appearance just out on the side. I mean, you really bring a real cosmopolitan approach to this particular instrument. And the fact that you kind of cut your teeth on it right here in the Low Country is kind of unique to me. And I guess you're still trying to figure it out, as you say.
Yes, but I'm also trying to get my name out there at this point, and kind of get people to understand what I do and you know, appreciate it. So I'm putting out lots more covers on YouTube and promoting myself on Facebook, building a website. And eventually I'd like to release my own original material. It'll probably be in the same genres, pop, hip hop, R&B, but original stuff that, you know, I write for violin. So,
well, I saw one piece of video and it was very simply produced with you like sitting on a rooftop, I think, as I recall.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that one?
Well, that was during my time in Italy. I was in Arezzo, Italy, which is in Tuscany, last semester. I was studying there on the Music Study Away program with Furman. And actually there, I kind of got a chance because I wasn't so involved with so many music activities in school. I got a chance to kind of delve more into what I was eventually going to do, what I'm trying to do now. So the story behind that was I saw the cool view on the roof, and I was like, I got to shoot a video here. So one of my friends helped me do that, and yeah, it turned out great. So that's what you saw.
I wish you the best, and for folks that are watching, and somewhere down the road, you may happen to bump into or hear somebody reference Seth G. You know, like we're such a hip program here. I like to stay on the cutting edge of all of it, but Seth G is actually something that you've kind of incorporated into.
Yeah, I have my own. I actually made it when I was a lot younger with a computer voice generator, and it's kind of become my tag. So when you hear Seth G, the violin's coming shortly thereafter. So
well, that's terrific. Hey, all the best, man. I really enjoyed meeting you. I hope this goes where you want it to go.
Thank you.
I think the sky's the limit for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All the best. All right, Seth Gilliard, violinist, locally raised, and he's still out there trying to figure out exactly where he's going to take all this talent. But his music and his bio and contact information, it's all available on his Facebook page at facebook.com/Seth G Music, or you can go to his YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/SethXG.